Danielle was crowned Miss England and Miss Great Britain, as well as starring in the Celebrity Big Brother House and in the diving show Splash. But recently you've been very honest about how the pressure to look a certain way didn't really bring you happiness, Danielle.
No, it didn't. I think, obviously, especially now, young girls are pressured into looking a certain way. I know we're going to talk about fake tans, but now it's just gone to an extreme. You know, they're getting face fillers and all the rest of it. I don't know where it's actually going to end.
Do you feel like there was pressure on you to become a certain way and you never really had a choice?
I think obviously it was more pressure of being in the public eye and following sort of influencers then. Back in my day, you know, I felt like I needed to have my breasts done to feel a certain way. I was very insecure and I thought that was going to make me feel better, which didn't.
It didn't?
No, and actually all I really needed was therapy to make me feel better, and it probably would have been a lot cheaper.
Wow, that's so interesting. So you've had the therapy or you're still doing it?
I have had therapy and I feel fantastic. I'm
Great.
Probably the most happiest I've ever been.
But I know that you were on it was a British quiz, wasn't it? That big show with all the people who quizzing, and they came out with your IQ was 152, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, I could have actually been a mentor.
Yeah, you're right.
How that happened, I don't know.
You still can. I mean, you're right at the very top.
Well, I think I've probably lost a few brain cells since I've had children, so each one.
But one of the things that really is terrible is how many female journalists, especially showbiz ones, pick on young women, and especially women in the public eye, pick at them, how they look, what they look like, what they're wearing, even with the Oscars. And, you know, I hate the way women objectify women.
Yeah, I think it's important to just teach women, and we should all empower each other anyway, but I think it's just so important to teach young girls now to just love themselves the way they are.
Yeah.
And I know and who they are. I know that's what my therapist told me. She was like, nobody's going to love you until you love yourself.
Yeah.
So.
I think one of the most attractive qualities is just joy, actually. When you meet somebody, you know, maybe it's just a colleague who's just happy in their work, in their life. It does, you know, that's one of the most, that draws you to them instantly.
Yeah.
And some people are quite joyless. They may be, you know, fantastically good looking, but joyless.
Yeah.
Too serious. Some people I mean, there's people in my world everywhere, but some people are just too serious.
So now, we talked last time. I want to catch up with your children news, because you've got 4 boys, a lot of football. I know it's something you've always wanted as a girl. You're not allowed in this country to actually go and have IVF and select gender, so you can't do that. You can do it elsewhere.
Yes.
You were about to go to Dubai.
Yes, we were meant to be going to Dubai for the whole of August to have gender selection. You know, since the last show, and we spoke about it, I have bought myself a book on how to conceive a girl. So I've been...
Right.
I know, it sounds crazy.
There's a method, or there's a...
There's a method in the madness. So basically, I've read this book and I've had to do tests, and it's all very scientific. Basically, you need to know when you ovulate, and you have to do the deed, basically, on a certain day at a certain time to conceive the girl.
But why, if it's the man who's responsible for the sex of the...
Because it's all to do with how long the sperm lasts for.
Okay.
The female sperm can last longer than the male sperm.
So
Stronger the species.
Yeah. So he's... I mean, don't want to be too graphic at this time of day, but he's getting in there quite soon. Am I doing this right?
That's graphic, Jeremy.
Yeah. But he's got a time, and it's like in football. In football, sometimes players make an early run.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you might not go to Dubai and do it.
Well, I think we're still going to go, but hopefully I might be, and you never know, I might be pregnant by then with my little girl.
If it works, that'll be so successful.
If
Daniel,
it works,
how will you feel if you go through this method with this rhythm method dictated by this book, and you get pregnant and you have another little boy?
Do you know what? I was actually speaking to my partner about this last night, and I said, you know what? If we have another boy, then it was just meant to be.
Yes, that's a great
And I
attitude.
just think I only want one more, and you know, if I can save myself 20 grand doing it the normal way, why not?
Yeah, well, that's.
And you know, you will.
I think the audience approve of that choice. Now, listen, I've
Do
got
it the
something here.
old-fashioned way.
This is